Hey everyone, I hope you all are doing great, and thank you for all the comments. Right, looking into my prior videos and having engaging discussions. I appreciate all that. It's just that sometimes I'm little behind in respect to responding to all your comments, but I do read them when I get time. Right, so don't think ignored. Okay, if I'm not responding to your comments, I do read all of them. So please feel free to keep them coming. Now, let me share my screen real quick. And what I'm going to do is recently what I'm seeing is I'm seeing a lot of requests in respect to say, how do I set up AS2, right? There are quite a few protocols out there when it comes to integration, and typically we'd only talk about FTP or SFTP or HTTP, right? Those kind of protocols. But other than that, right, AS2 is really a very powerful protocol, right? And it's the full form of AS2 is applicability statement 2, right? There is an AS1, right, and the AS2, and then you have AS3, AS4 as well. But AS2, right, if you see the RFC of AS2 from IEEE, who manages the protocol and all that, is basically built on top of HTTPS or HTTP protocol, right, over SSL, right? So there are certain benefits of using AS2 than using like HTTP or HTTPS, right? The two major, I think the first major advantage of AS2 over HTTP is message disposition notification or MDN, right? Non-repudiation, right? Where when you are exchanging data, right, between two uh, systems, right, like an organization and a partner in AS2 world that we speak about, you always receive an acknowledgement. The acknowledgement can be two types, right? It can be an asynchronous acknowledgement, it can be a synchronous acknowledgement, right? When I'm talking about synchronous acknowledgement, is basically that you're sending data over AS2 to from source to destination, but you're waiting on that same connection, okay, to get the response back from the destination that they have received the data successfully and all that, right? So there's some payload related information, right? Some checksum to ensure that the data was successfully transmitted without any corruption and all that. And that MDN, right, which you're receiving is called a non-reputation, because in future, right, like when we talk about two businesses doing data transactions using AS2, sometimes it happens that one of the parties says, okay, hey, I did not receive your orders, right, and you're expecting me to ship it, and I'm getting emails that it's delayed and all that. That's where like those kind of scenarios, okay, where let's say one specific business is saying that you have never sent the data, whereas the others business entity is claiming that they did send the uh, data, right, on time, is where this MDN comes into picture, because no one can falsify that, right, as long as they are able to produce that the MDN for the specific message in question. Okay, I think that's one way of protecting the uh, protecting their claim, right, that they did send it and they received a notification back, right, from their system, right. That is one of the very key aspect of using AS2, right. Other than that, there are other features, right, like the SSL certificate, which is also there in HTTPS as well, right. But primarily, I've seen MDN is one of the key aspect where like businesses do transaction using AS2, right. Now, typically, if you all are aware of, okay, if someone is new to AS2, when we set up AS2, irrespective of any product itself, like be it Sterling Integrator or maybe Axway or maybe other tools, right, which supports AS2, the first step is we exchange some key information about our AS2 system, right? Like for doing AS2, both the sender and the receiver side should be able to handle AS2 messages, right? Their software should be able to support AS2 protocol, right? Or else it's not going to work. So, and to do that, right, we need to like when we are setting up an AS2 profile on our end to be able to send like file to the destination, we need some very basic information, right? Their certificate, their URL endpoints, right? What kind of message format that it's we need to support, right? Or what are the encryption algorithms, signing algorithm, things like that. I'm sharing one of the sheet, right? This is one of the exchange, like AS2 trading partner information related sheet that we fill with our information, and we expect similar thing from their end, so that we can set it up on either side, right? Once we have set up the AS2 with all the details, like there is also another step involved where we need to also engage our network team to ensure that if there's any firewall rules, okay, that is going to like disallow, right, inbound or outbound connection on the ports, right, which are there for the AS2. We need to make sure those are whitelisted, right? So it's not just the application side of it where you're doing the configuration using the information that you exchange through this kind of document, but also you need to engage your network team to be able to whitelist those firewall rules, like on either side, right? Okay, it's not just on your end, but it's also on the other end. So there's some kind of manual intervention and time that it needs. It's not just straightforward, okay, that I want to do an AS2 and I'm done with that, okay, in a day, right? It takes some time, so you need to plan accordingly, like that additional time that it takes. Now, once we've exchanged all this information, we're all set. Now we go into our application. This is where, like, I'm sharing my screen. If you see, in Sterling B2B Integrator, we have this concept of organization and partners. So earlier, right, in previous versions, there used to be only, like, let's say I'm hosting this software on my end, so I'm the organization, right? Let's say ABC, I'm the company, right? So I am, ABC is an organization, and it has multiple AS2 connections with multiple external trading partners, right? So those are called partners. So it's single org or single organization and multiple partners, right? And you need to create a organization and partner relations. We call it as AS2 trading partner relationship. There was a need in the market, okay, that there might be different business units, right, or different entities or different companies, like based on acquisition of multiple companies by one company. Uh, the need was to be able to support multiple organizations, right, on one end, because I might have different business unit, I might have different companies, and using the same software I should be able to tell, okay, like, yeah, I have multiple organizations. So multi-organization uh, was introduced, right, later on in the recent versions, okay, where you can create multiple organization and not like single organization, and you can create like organization partner trading partner relationship as well. Now if you look into this, okay, so what you need to do is, first step is like, based on the AS2 exchange, information exchange, okay, we need to exchange our SSL certificates that is needed for the setup. So you get the trading partner related certificate, you upload it into the trusted store, right? You take the file, like the CER file, right, or any other formatter that is supposed. And then once the certificate is uploaded into the trusted digital store, the second part is you create a trading partner configuration. Sorry, excuse me. Trading partner configuration. Now, in the trading partner configuration, if you see on the left hand side, there's a AS2 button. You click on that, and then you click on the first tab, like AS2 partner, and then in the next step, right, you need to select whether it's an organization partner. So now you're setting a partner, so you go ahead, like, you need to first create an organization for sure, right? This is the partner side of it, right? So there will be already an organization set up before the partner, so that's first step. Now in the partner section, okay, it says, okay, create new identity. You can select that and then use the AS2 identity. This is very important. How does AS2 systems do transaction? There is a specific AS2 identifier that we need to use, and it has to be identified on other side of it, right? So this is information that is unique, right, for that trading partner. So you should have also one AS2 identifier for your organization, right? So that's very important. You need to make sure you put that information in the AS2 identifier section. In the next page, you need to select like the endpoint, right? This is the endpoint, okay, where you will be like basically this is the endpoint on the the partner side, okay, that you need to configure, okay, for sending the data out. And then you need to put like certain information like which are mandatory, like response timeout and all that. And then the next screen is where you need to define okay your payload related information, whether it's a signed, encrypted and all that. Like there are different options from the drop down, the mime type and all these. This goes into the header section of the AS2. Like there's a AS2 header that gets added on the payload, right? So this all information is collected from this setup. And then what is the encryption algorithm that you have agreed, right, between you and your partner, right? That's important. You need to agree on a specific encryption algorithm that either of the system supports. The shining algorithm, like, and then MDN is whether we need an MDN or not. This is very critical. I've never seen a system where you are setting up an AS2 but there's no like MDN that has been set up. It's always like the reason of having an AS2 is that we need MDNs, right? And then you need to select the certificate that you already uploaded in the first step, right, in the next page, and then click configure, right. If you see over here, you select the same certificate you can do for exchange and as well as signing. And then once you have selected what is the receipt type for the MDN, whether it's a synchronous is the same connection, right? Typically, I've seen synchronous. Asynchronous is like the destination will also initiate another like HTTP like AS2 request after the session has been completed, and then they would be sending the MDN during that, right? And then receipt to address. This is our address, okay, where our HTTP server adapter is running, okay, where we are receiving the connection, right, from the external uh, trading partner. So this is where our HTTP server adapter will be the host running. And then um, once you have done with that, right, then you need to create a AS2 trading partner relationship where you are saying, okay, that this is my organization, let's say GSA Commerce QA. You select the AS2 trading relationship and then you attach the partner to that, right? And then you select like where do the MDN land, like whether they will be stored in the file system or they will be stored in the mailboxes, right? Or there is a business process which will invoke directly, right? After you receive the MDN, right? So typically, I've seen like file system mailbox is the default one. So when we select that, okay, you need to select the either the file system location, right, where you are expecting the MDNs, the and then the error local. If there's a error related MDNs, right? MDN might be like a positive or negative MDN. Where does a negative MDN goes, right? Those things. And then so this is all what you set up, and then once this is completed, right, we can so I think typically these are the high level steps, right? And then if there is like and then once you set up this trading partner relationship automatically at the back end, the good thing about Sterling B2B integrator is the corresponding the business processes will automatically get created with the trading partner and the organization relationship at the back end. So the good thing about the recent versions of a like Sterling B2B integrator is once you have set this up, like there is already like next to the trading partner relationship, there would be a link called click is to test now. Okay, that's a functionality where even if the trading partner is still probably in the middle of creating the configuration on their end and you're ready for testing, you can do just a loop back okay testing within your application itself, right? And see okay whether everything on your end is working properly before even you are like ready for testing with the trading partner. So the ACE to test now is a very good functionality. You should be able to use it for at least doing the unit testing on your end to ensure every all the setup is completed right properly and all not. And if you receive an error, try to fix it, right? Try to see what is the thing that we need to reconfigure and all that, and that will kind of I think this is on a very high level. Unfortunately, as I mentioned, okay, I'm trying to get my Sterling integrated application up and running. Once I'm done with that, okay, I would no longer be needing these screenshots and be able to like help you guys. So I'm anticipating once that is up, I should be able to like go into the real application and start doing something hands-on that would really help you all, right, to better understand how things works. Until then, please bear with me, and I hope you have a nice weekend. And I'll talk to you next week. Thank you.